In a steamy New Orleans courtroom, two smug cops think they've framed a black woman with drugs until she weeps, flashes a CIA badge, and unveils dashcam proof of their brutal setup. The gallery erupts as the judge orders their arrest on the spot, exposing corruption. Her stand sparks a call for justice. But will it change the system or fade? Watch a tale of courage against deceit unfold, leaving us wondering what's next. The New Orleans, Louisiana courthouse loomed under a steamy August sky, its gray stone facade slick with humidity. A six-story monolith rising from the city's vibrant chaos, its wide steps glistening with the day's earlier rain. Inside, the second-floor courtroom thrummed with a restless energy, wooden benches creaking under the weight of a packed gallery, locals in damp shirts wiping sweat from their brows, reporters hunched over notepads, their pens scratching against the oppressive heat. A clerk fanning herself with a file, her glasses slipping down her nose. The air smelled faintly of mildew and perspiration, the rattling window unit air conditioners groaning as they battled the thick humidity that seeped through every crack. Sunlight filtered through tall, smudged windows, casting hazy beams across the scuffed hardwood floor, dust motes swirling in the light, a soft blur, softening the room's sharp edges. At the bench sat Judge Clara Monroe, 62 stern, her black robe crisp despite the heat, a stark contrast to the courtroom's worn veneer, her brown eyes steady, framed by deep lines etched from decades of presiding over the city's tangled justice. Her graying hair was pulled into a tight bun, her thin lips set in a line that rarely softened her gavel, resting beside a stack of papers, edges curling in the damp air. She'd ruled this court for over 20 years, her reputation whispered in the halls. Monroe's iron, a mechanic had muttered earlier, tugging his red cap, low, wary of her unyielding gaze. Aisha Brooks stood at the defendant's table, 36. Petite, her dark skin glistening faintly with sweat. Under the courtroom's harsh lights, short black hair, neatly trimmed, gray blouse tucked into black slacks. Hazel eyes calm yet glistening with unshed tears. Charged with drug possession after a traffic stop on July 19th. Her voice trembled slightly when she'd entered her plea earlier, not guilty, Your Honor. Her tone carrying a quiet strength that drew murmurs from the gallery. She's quiet, red scarf, she's got grit, the clerk noting State v. Brooks, her pen moving slow in the sticky air. Now as the trial unfolded, silent tears streamed down her cheeks, her hands clasped tight, shoulders shaking gallery. What did they do? Floral blouse? Poor thing, a ripple of unease spreading. Prosecutor Henry Voss rose, 45. Lean, his gray suit sharp, but clinging damply to his frame, his voice smooth and practiced. Aisha Brooks, July 19th. Traffic stop, drugs. Found in her possession, resisted arrest. The gallery shifting a low hum, rising Voss. Officers Daniels and Perry pulled her over for speeding cocaine, doused on her shirt, clear intent to distribute. Aisha wept, harder tears dripping onto the table gallery. She's breaking. Mechanic, what happened? Judge Monroe. Order Ms. Brooks compose. Yourself. Thud her gavel, striking wood Voss. She resisted, fought officers a danger. Aisha. No, sir, they planted it. Her voice breaking through sobs gallery. Planted. Red scarf, she's truth. Voss, planted how a story. Jury won't buy typical excuse. Gallery. Buy it. Floral blouse. She's calm. A murmur swelling like a storm brewing. Defense attorney, Malik Evans, 40, dark suit. Crisp, despite the heat, stood swiftly. Your Honor, defense presents evidence. His voice firm, cutting through gallery. Evidence, yes. Red scarf, show 'em. Aisha reached into her purse with trembling hands, pulled a sleek, black wallet, flipped it open. CIA agent Aisha Brooks, her badge gleaming under the lights gallery. CIA, mechanic what? A gasp rippling through like a shockwave. Monroe. Badge explain now, thud her gavel, sharp gallery. Explain yes. Floral, blouse. She's real. Aisha. Undercover, Your Honor, July 19th, stopped officers. Daniels and Perry planted drugs on me, her voice steadying through tears, gallery. Planted, yes. Red scarf. Truth out, Malik. Video evidence, dashcam, their own footage. His tone, rising gallery. Video now. Floral blouse. She's got it. The clerk fumbled. Screen flickered to life. Gallery. Here it comes. Mechanic show him. Voss, objection, Your Honor. Surprise stunt, gallery. Stunt no. Red scarf, she's shamed. Monroe. Overruled. Proceed. Thud, gallery. Proceed, yes. Floral blouse. Truth. Aisha. They framed me. Tears falling screen. Hummed a thread, snapping loud. The New Orleans, Louisiana courthouse courtroom bristled with a taut silence as the clerk's screen hummed to life under the flickering fluorescent lights. Ceiling fans whirring overhead, slicing through the sticky air that hung heavy with anticipation, a faint buzz threading through the packed space. Wooden benches creaked as the gallery leaned forward. Locals in damp shirts wiping sweat from their faces. Reporters scribbling furiously, their pens racing against the rising tension. A clerk adjusting her glasses, her hands trembling slightly from the heat and the moment. Aisha Brooks. 36. Petite gray blouse, tucked neatly into black slacks. Hazel eyes glistening with drying tears, stood firm at the defendant's table, her breath steadying, as the weight of her revelation CIA agent settled over the room. Gallery voices swelled. Here it comes! Mechanic show him! A chorus of expectation. Judge Clara Monroe, 62. Black robe crisp, sat rigid at the bench, her brown eyes narrowing. Proceed, her gavel thud, faint a tremor, beneath her usual command gallery. Truth, floral blouse. She's real. Malik Evans, 40, dark suit, sharp, stood tall. Dashcam, July 19th. 9:15 p.m., Your Honor, gallery, now. Red scarf, justice. The screen flared to life timestamp, glowing July 19th, 9:15 p.m. A dark New Orleans street headlights, cutting through the muggy night, a patrol car's red and blue lights, pulsing faintly, a thread snapping loud. Footage crackled, Officer Daniels's voice sharp through static. Pull over speeding, Aisha's car easing to the curb, her silhouette calm behind the wheel. Wasn't speeding, sir, her voice steady, hands visible on the steering wheel gallery. She's calm. Red scarf, truth. A ripple of nods, Daniels. Out now. Tone hard, flashlight beam jittering. Perry, stepping forward. Move it, yanking the driver's door open. Aisha, why, sir? Her voice even measured gallery. She's cool. Mechanic steady, Perry, grabbing her. Arm sudden out, pulling hard. Aisha. I'm not resisting, thud against the car gallery. They grab her. Floral blouse. Jesus, no. Daniels. Checker, Perry. She's got drugs. His hand flashing a baggie. White powder splashing across her gray blouse. Aisha. That's not mine. Voice rising sharp gallery. Planted. Red scarf lies. A gasp swelling like a storm breaking. Daniels, resisting, fist swinging into her side. Aisha grunt, no, stumbling. Perry knee, slamming her ribs, down, blood trickling from her nose gallery. They hit Mechanic Christ. Aisha. Why you hitting? Breathless Daniels. Shut up. Another punch gallery. No reason. Floral blouse. They're liars. Perry. Drug dealer fighting. Cuffs snapping tight Daniels. She's disorderly, dragging her gallery. No fighting. Red scarf. She's shamed. Aisha limp, cuffed. I said why. Voice fading. Perry. Move. Shoving her gallery. They framed. Mechanic. They're done. Daniels. Booker possession. Perry. Yeah, resisting. Footage lingered her blood on asphalt. Then cut to static gallery. Framed her. Floral blouse justice now. Air electric a tide roaring fast. Malik stepped forward. Your Honor, footage clear unedited. Officers planted drugs, assaulted, no resistance. His voice firm, cutting through gallery. Clear yes. Red scarf. Truth out. Aisha. That's me, they lied. Hazel eyes, blazing tears. Dry gallery. She's truth, Mechanic. She's real, Monroe. Clear maybe. Her voice thin, hands gripping the bench gallery. Maybe no. Floral blouse. She's blind. Malik. Dashcam. Their own officers. Daniels Perry, caught planting assaulting gallery. Caught yes. Red scarf. They're shamed. Aisha. I stood calm. They hit me. Her voice steady rising gallery. Calm yes. Mechanic, she's strong. Monroe. Order I'll assess. Thud her gavel, weak gallery. Assess truth. Floral blouse. She's cornered. Henry Voss, objection. Your Honor, edited gallery. Edited no. Red scarf lies. Malik. No edit, Your Honor, timestamp. Intact raw gallery. Raw yes. Mechanic, she's trapped. Aisha. They framed me, I'm CIA. Her badge gleaming gallery. CIA truth. Floral blouse. She's justice. A swell, crashing loud. The New Orleans, Louisiana courtroom crackled with a charged uproar as the dashcam footage cut to static. Aisha Brooks, 36, gray blouse. Hazel eyes, blazing, stood firm. Her voice. They framed me, I'm CIA. Echoing gallery, CIA truth. Floral blouse. She's justice. A roar swelling. Malik Evans, 40. Dark suit sharp, timestamp intact raw. Judge Clara Monroe, 62, black robe, crisp. Order I'll assess. Her gavel thud. Weak gallery erupting. Assess no. Red scarf. Truth now. Air thick a tide surging loud. A mechanic, red cap, 40s lean stood. They hit her, planted drugs, liars. Voice rough gallery. Liars yes. Floral blouse. She's real, shouts rising a woman. Floral blouse. 50s round face clutched her purse. She's CIA, they beat her, shame. Tears brimming gallery. Shame, shame. Mechanic, they're done, a swell crashing a retiree, gray beard. 70 rasped. Cops framed her, I saw it, gallery. Saw yes, red scarf, she's truth, a murmur thundering fast. A young reporter, curly hair, 20s, scribbled. Gallery Wild Brooks, CIA, mutter. They're toast. Gallery, toast yes. Floral blouse. She's strong. A mother, red scarf, 30s hissed. My girl's age, they'd frame her too. Gallery. Frame no. Mechanic justice. The room pulsed, Aisha free. Red scarf. They're shamed. A farmer, plaid shirt, 60s leaned. Video clear, they lied. Gallery clear, clear. Floral blouse. She's justice. Air electric, a chant swelling. An older woman, green shawl. 60s voice tight. She wept, they hit her truth out, gallery. Truth out, mechanic, they're caught. A nurse, green scrubs. 40s ER sees this, they beat her down, gallery. Beat down. Red scarf, she's right, a roar pressing cops jail. Floral blouse. She's won, reporters. Frame exposed. A thread snapping loud. The New Orleans, Louisiana courtroom thrummed with a charged roar as the gallery's voices. Cops jail. Floral blouse, she's won! Swelled like a storm breaking against the creaking wooden benches. The humid air, thick with sweat and fury. Ceiling fans whirring overhead, a futile hum against the heat that pressed down on every soul in the packed space. Aisha Brooks, 36, petite, gray blouse clinging damply to her frame, hazel eyes blazing with a quiet fire that had hardened through her tears, stood firm at the defendant's table, her breath steadying as the gallery's support lifted her like a tide. Gallery. Truth out! Red scarf. She's justice. A chorus crashing loud. Judge Clara Monroe, 62, black robe crisp despite the dampness, sat rigid at the bench, her brown eyes flickering with a mix of irritation and unease. Order. Her gavel thud weak, barely cutting through gallery. Order no! Mechanic, they're caught. Malik Evans, 40, dark suit, sharp as a blade, stood beside her. His presence steady, air electric, a thread surging fast. Aisha stepped forward, her voice steady, cutting through the din like a beacon. Your Honor, I speak now, gallery. Speak yes. Floral blouse. She's real. Her hands unclenched, badge gleaming under the flickering lights. Monroe. Ms. Brooks, sit. Thud, her voice thinning. Gallery. Sit, no. Red scarf. Truth, Aisha. No, sit, Your Honor. July 19th. Officers Daniels and Perry stopped me. No cause. Planted drugs. Beat me down. Her tone rising firm. Gallery. No cause. Mechanic. They're liars. A swell of voices. Her hazel eyes locked on Monroe. I'm CIA undercover. I stood calm. They lied. Framed me. Gallery. Calm, yes. Floral blouse. She's justice. Her blouse stained with sweat. A faint echo of the white powder they'd doused her with. Gallery. Framed her. Red scarf. She's truth. A roar swelling like thunder. She paced a step, her black slacks rustling, voice gaining strength. Footage shows it clear. Unedited dashcam, their own. They pulled me out. No reason. I asked why. Gallery. Why, yes. Mechanic. She's strong. Her hands firm, clutching the badge. They grabbed me, threw drugs, hit me, fist, knee. Blood, nose, ribs bruised. Gallery. Blood, yes. Floral blouse. They're shamed. Her breath sharp. Clara Jones saw it, porch close, 20 feet, calm woman hit, no cause. Gallery. Saw it. Red scarf. She's real. Monroe. Order, Ms. Brooks. Quiet. Thud, her gavel faltering. Gallery. Quiet, no. Mechanic. She's justice. Aisha. No quiet, Your Honor. I'm no criminal. I serve this country. They framed me. I demand justice now. Gallery. Justice now. Floral blouse. She's won. A chant rising. Monroe. Order, I said. Thud, weak. Gallery. Order, no. Red scarf. Truth out. Aisha turned jury. You saw footage. I didn't fight, didn't resist, stood calm. They planted drugs, beat me. Her voice steady, piercing. Gallery. Calm, yes. Mechanic. She's right. Her eyes wet but blazing. I'm CIA protected secrets. They hit me for asking why, bruised me for truth. Gallery. Truth, yes. Floral blouse. She's strong. A swell crashing. Monroe. Enough, Mrs. Brooks, sit. Thud, her hands trembling. Gallery. Sit, no. Red scarf. She's justice. Aisha. Enough lies, Your Honor. They're caught on their own cam. Arrest them now. Her voice rising, a clarion call. Gallery. Arrest, yes. Mechanic, they're done. A roar, thundering loud. She faced Monroe. They lied, said I fought. I stood still. They beat me, bloodied me, framed me. Gallery. Framed, yes. Floral blouse. She's truth. Her badge, a silent witness. I serve justice. They broke it. Arrest them. Gallery. Arrest now. Red scarf. She's shamed. Monroe. Order, I'll assess. Thud, her voice cracking. Gallery. Assess, no. Mechanic. She's breaking. Aisha. Assess truth. Your Honor, they're guilty. I'm free. Her hazel eyes unyielding. Gallery. Free her. Floral blouse. She's justice. A tide, surging, a thread, snapping strong. The New Orleans, Louisiana courtroom pulsed with a charged uproar as Aisha Brooks's voice, "Arrest them now," rang clear and unyielding through the humid air. Her hazel eyes blazing with a fire that cut through the gallery's swelling roar. Free her. Floral blouse. She's justice. A storm thundering against the creaking wooden benches, the sticky heat pressing down like a weight on every breath. Gallery voices swelled. Arrest, yes. Red scarf. She's shamed. A tide crashing with relentless force. Judge Clara Monroe, 62, black robe. Crisp gripped her gavel with white-knuckled hands. Order, I'll assess. Thud, her voice, cracking a faint tremor, betraying the steel she'd wielded for decades. Gallery. Assess, no. Mechanic, she's breaking. Air, thick with sweat and fury, ceiling fans whirring overhead, a futile hum against the heat that fueled the room's electric edge. Monroe leaned forward from the bench, her hands trembling as she clutched the gavel. Its wood, slick with humidity. Gallery. Truth now. Floral blouse. She's done. Her brown eyes darted, flickering with unease, as they swept over Aisha. 36 gray blouse, stained with sweat, standing firm at the defendant's table. Her presence. A quiet storm. Malik Evans, 40, dark suit sharp, stood beside her. His steady gaze locked on Monroe Gallery. Arrest them. Red scarf. She's justice. Monroe. Enough, Mrs. Brooks, sit down now. Thud, her voice thin, barely cutting through Gallery. Sit no. Mechanic, she's shamed. Her jaw tightened, lips pursing as she gripped the bench, fingers digging into the worn oak. They're loud, too loud. Her breath shallow. Gallery. Order no. Floral blouse. She's trapped. A swell of voices pressing like a vice. She snatched Clara Jones's statement from the stack pages, rustling in her shaking hands. I see this. Jones saw calm. Yes. Gallery. Calm. Yes. Red scarf. Truth. Her voice faltered. Footage shows it. Assault. Yes. Blood. Nose ribs. Gallery. Blood. Yes. Mechanic. She's caught. Her eyes darted to the screen, static lingering from the dash cam. They hit her. No fight. Gallery. No fight. Floral blouse. She's shamed. Monroe. State says resisted. Report says fought. Her tone cracking. Gallery. Report lies. Red scarf. She's blind. She flipped the file. Jones says calm. Woman asked why. Hit no cause. Porch close. Gallery. Close. Yes. Mechanic. She's real. Monroe. Report. Maybe lies. I see. Blood. No resistance. Gallery. No resistance. Floral blouse. She's breaking. Her hands shook the paper, fluttering. Years I ruled, they turn now. Gallery. Turn. Yes. Red scarf. She's done. A murmur swelling like a storm. Monroe. Ms. Brooks badge. CIA. Her voice thinning. Gallery. CIA. Yes. Floral blouse. She's justice. Aisha. They framed me, Your Honor. I stood calm. Gallery. Calm. Yes. Mechanic. She's strong. Monroe. Framed. Maybe. Footage. Jones outweigh. Report. Thud, her gavel weak. Gallery. Outweigh. Yes. Red scarf. She's shamed. She straightened, robe sagging. Officers Daniels and Perry explain this. Her tone brittle. Gallery. Explain. No. Floral blouse. They're caught. Malik. Your Honor. Footage. Jones. Prove assault. Planted drugs. Gallery. Prove. Yes. Mechanic. She's trapped. Monroe. I see it. Yes. Planted drugs. Assault. Clear. Gallery. Clear. Yes. Red scarf. She's done. Her eyes flickered, a crack widening. They lied. I see. Gallery. Lied. Yes. Floral blouse. She's breaking. A swell surging fast. Monroe. Court finds Aisha Brooks. No resistance, no possession. Thud, her voice steadier. Gallery. No possession. Mechanic. She's free. She paused, breath catching. Officers Daniels, Perry, arrest them now. Thud, firm. Gallery. Arrest. Yes. Red scarf. Justice. Aisha. Thank you, Your Honor. Hazel eyes. Bright. Gallery. Justice. Justice. Floral blouse. She's won. Monroe. Charges dismissed. Ms. Brooks. Thud. Gallery. Dismissed. Yes. Mechanic. She's out. Her hands steadied. Gavel still. Gallery. Truth now. Red scarf. She's shamed. A tide roaring strong. A thread snapping clean. The New Orleans, Louisiana courtroom erupted with a deafening roar as Judge Clara Monroe's gavel thud. Charges dismissed. Officers Daniels and Perry, arrest them now. Landed firm, her voice steady, cutting through the humid air that clung thick with sweat and anticipation, the creaking wooden benches trembling under the weight of a gallery unleashed. Aisha Brooks, 36, petite gray blouse damp against her skin. Hazel eyes, bright with a mix of relief and resolve, stood tall at the defendant's table, her breath catching, as the gallery's triumph swelled like a storm breaking free. Gallery. Justice. Justice. Floral blouse. She's won, a tide crashing with unstoppable force. Malik Evans, 40. Dark suit sharp, stood beside her. A faint smile tugging his lips, gallery. Dismissed, yes. Mechanic, she's free. Air, thick with heat and fury, ceiling fans whirring. Overhead a futile hum against the electric swell, Monroe. 62 black robe. Crisp sat rigid, her hands steady on the gavel. Court adjourned, thud weak gallery. Adjourned no. Red scarf, she's shamed. A swell thundering loud, of victory ringing through the haze. A mechanic redcap 40s lean and wiry leapt up from his bench fists pumping, "They're done. Free her, jail them now." His voice raw, gravelly, from years in the shop gallery. Jail, yes. Floral blouse. Truth, shouts swelling like a wave, a woman. Floral blouse. 50's round face, flushed with heat and tears, stood beside him, clutching her purse. She's CIA. They beat her justice now. Tears streaming down her cheeks, voice breaking gallery. Justice now. Mechanic, she's strong. A roar crashing through a retiree. Graybeard. 70. His back stooped from decades of labor, croaked out. Cops caught liars, free Aisha. His voice thin but fierce gallery. Free Aisha. Red scarf, she's real. A chant surging fast, a rhythm pulsing through the room. A young reporter, curly hair 20s, scribbled furiously. Gallery wild cops down, mutter under his breath. They're toast, gallery, toast yes. Floral blouse, she's justice. A mother red scarf, 30s tears brimming cried out. My son's age, safe now, she fought for us. Her voice trembling with relief, gallery. Fought yes. Mechanic. They're shamed. The room pulsed. Aisha free. Red scarf, she's won. A farmer, plaid shirt. 60s, his weathered hands gripping the bench, roared, Video truth, they're gone liars! Gallery. Truth, truth, floral blouse, she's free. Air electric, a storm breaking, wide voices overlapping in a cacophony of victory. An older woman, green shawl, 60s, her voice loud and piercing. She wept, they framed her, now they pay. Gallery. Pay yes. Mechanic. She's truth, a nurse, green scrubs, 40s, her arms crossed. ER knows, beatings there caught justice. Gallery, caught yes. Red scarf, justice lives. A swell thundering cops down. Floral blouse, she's hero. A teacher gray sweater. 50s stood. She's CIA, fought lies, free her gallery. Free her. Mechanic, she's justice. Oh barber. Blue apron, 30s, his voice booming. They planted. But they hit her, they're done. Gallery, done. Yes. Red scarf, she's real. A grandmother, white scarf, 70s, hands clasped. She stood calm, they're shamed. Aisha won, gallery. One yes. Floral blouse. She's strong. A tide roaring strong. A student backpack slung, 20s, shouted, She's us. They beat us justice now, gallery. Now yes. Mechanic, she's hero. A cook-stained apron, 40s. His voice thick. They framed her truth out, their toast, gallery. Toast yes. Red scarf, she's justice. A delivery man. Cap backwards, 30s roared, cops caught, she's free, liars down. Gallery down yes. Floral blouse. Truth lives. The room shook a swell of voices, gallery. Aisha. Mechanic, she's won. A chant thundering a thread, snapping clean. A victory, echoing through the steamy haze. The New Orleans, Louisiana courtroom shook with a thunderous roar as the gallery's chant, Aisha, mechanic, she's won, swelled like a tidal wave crashing against the creaking wooden benches, the humid air thick with sweat, and the raw edge of victory. Ceiling fans whirring overhead, a faint hum swallowed by the swell of voices. Judge Clara Monroe, 62. Black robe crisp stood firm at the bench. Her gavel thud. Officers Daniels and Perry, arrest them now. Her voice steady, cutting through the chaos like a blade, gallery. Justice lives. Floral blouse. She's hero. Aisha Brooks. 36. Petite gray blouse stained with the day's heat. Hazel eyes bright with a mix of relief and defiance, stood tall at the defendant's table. Her breath sharp as the weight of vindication settled. Malik Evans, 40, dark suit. Sharp nodded beside her, his calm presence, a steady anchor. Gallery. Caught, yes. Red scarf, they're done. Air electric, a tide surging loud, a victory pulsing through the steamy haze. Bailiffs, two broad men in gray uniforms, moved swift through the courtroom, their boots thudding on the scuffed hardwood floor, faces set hard. Officers Daniels and Perry, seated in the back row near the prosecution table. Suits rumpled and damp with sweat, stood abruptly. Gallery, liars. Mechanic, jail him now. Daniels, 38, stocky, his face flushed red. Your Honor, this a mistake. His voice shaking, cracking under the strain. Perry, 35. Lean, his jaw tight. We followed protocol, she resisted. Gallery. Protocol, no. Floral blouse lies. A swell of jeers erupting. Monroe. Mistake, no footage clear. Joan saw, thud, her gavel firm. Gallery. Clear, yes. Red scarf. They're shamed. Daniels. She resisted, fought us, his hands gesturing wildly. Perry. Drugs hers, we found 'em, his voice rising thin. Gallery. Resisted, no. Mechanic, they hit her. Monroe. Quiet, I saw assault, planted drugs, no fight. Gallery, saw, yes. Floral blouse. She's truth, a roar, swelling like a storm, breaking free. Bailiff, one, a burly man with a graying beard, stepped forward. Hands up, Daniels, his voice low, commanding. Daniels. No, this wrong, I'm officer. His arms flailing, sweat beading on his brow. Gallery. Officer, liar. Red scarf, justice, cuffs, snap metal, clicking tight around his wrists. Daniels, you can't, his voice cracking. Bailiff. Hands down, firm. Gallery, down, yes. Mechanic, he's caught. Perry lunged back. Get off me. His voice shrill. Bailiff, too younger, wiry. Stop moving. Grabbing Perry's arm, twisting cuffs. Click. Gallery. Cuff 'em, floral blouse. They're done. Perry. She's lying. Appeal this. His face pale. Daniels. We'll fight it. Gallery. Fight, no. Red scarf. She's CIA. A swell of voices. Bailiffs drag them. Daniels stumbling. Perry resisting. Gallery. Drag 'em. Mechanic, they're toast. Doors slamming shut as they vanished. Gallery. Gone, yes. Floral blouse, she's won. A roar thundering fast. Monroe. Order, take them, thud her voice. Steady. Gallery. Take, yes. Red scarf, justice now. Aisha breath, sharp hands unclenched. They're gone. Her voice soft. Gallery. Gone, yes. Mechanic. She's free. Malik, Your Honor. Justice served. Gallery. Served, yes. Floral blouse. She's hero. Monroe. Court notes arrest. Thud. Gallery. Notes, yes. Red scarf. They're shamed. Daniel's voice echoing faint. Appeal. Gallery. Appeal, no. Mechanic, she's truth. Aisha stood tall. Thank you. Hazel eyes meeting Monroe. Gallery. Thank her. Floral blouse. She's justice. Monroe. Charges gone. Thud. Gallery. Gone, yes. Red scarf. She's strong. A swell of voices. Gallery. Aisha free. Mechanic, they're caught. A tide rolling strong, a victory resounding through the steamy air. The New Orleans, Louisiana courtroom buzzed with a victorious swell as the galleries roar. Aisha free. Mechanic, they're caught. Echoed off the sweat-slicked walls, a thunderous wave crashing against the creaking wooden benches, the humid air thick with the scent of perspiration and the raw pulse of triumph that pulsed through every corner. Aisha Brooks, 36, petite, gray blouse clinging damply to her frame, hazel eyes bright with a hard-won clarity that shone through the fading sting of tears, stood firm at the defendant's table, her breath steadying as the gallery's cheers lifted her like a rising tide. Gallery. She's justice. Floral blouse. She's hero. A swell, rolling strong through the steamy haze. Malik Evans, 40. Dark suit, sharp despite the heat that soaked through his collar, stood beside her, his steady presence a silent anchor. A faint nod, acknowledging the shift gallery. Justice served. Red scarf, she's free. Ceiling fans whirring overhead, a futile hum against the fervor that shook the room, their blades slicing through the thick air with no relief. Judge Clara Monroe, 62, black robe crisp yet sagging with the weight of the moment, stood at the bench, her gavel thud. Court notes arrest, charges gone. Her voice firm, but edged with a tremor that betrayed the steel she'd wielded for decades. Gallery. Gone, yes. Floral blouse. She's strong. A swell, thundering loud. A victory resounding through the sticky air, a tide that refused to ebb. Monroe stepped down from the bench, her robe sagging slightly around her shoulders, as if the fabric itself carried the burden of her unraveling authority. Her hands steady but slow as she gathered her files. Clara Jones's statement, damp with the day's humidity, crinkled under her fingers, its ink smudged from the heat gallery. She's done. Red scarf, truth lives, whispered sharp, cutting through like blades. She clutched the papers tight, her knuckles whitening as the edges bit into her palms. Gallery. She's breaking. Floral blouse. She's out. A swell of jeers, swelling like a storm, voices overlapping in a relentless cacophony. Her brown eyes, once piercing with unshakable command, dimmed with a flicker of unease, darting briefly to the gallery's sea of faces. Gallery liars gone. Mechanic, she's shamed. Her jaw tightened, lips pursing into a thin line as she straightened, her posture rigid yet brittle. They saw me falter. Gallery. They're toast. Floral blouse. She's justice. Her breath caught short, a faint tremble in her chest as the weight of their scorn pressed down. Years I ruled, they cheer her now. Gallery. Cheer yes. Red scarf. She's won. A hum pressing fast, a weight she couldn't shake, her hands trembling as she tucked the files under her arm. She moved slow, her polished shoes scuffing the scuffed hardwood floor, each step deliberate, yet faltering, as if testing unfamiliar ground. Gallery. She's gone. Mechanic, she's breaking. A chorus swelling, rising like a tidal surge. Aisha's voice cut through. Thank you, Your Honor. Gallery. Thank her. Floral blouse. She's free. Monroe's head turned slightly, her eyes meeting Aisha's hazel gaze for a fleeting moment. Gallery. She's justice. Red scarf. She's strong. Monroe. Court adjourned. Thud. Her voice weak, barely audible over the din. Gallery. Adjourned, yes. Mechanic, she's shamed. Her hands shook as she smoothed her robe, fingers fumbling with the fabric. They saw me wrong, saw her right. Gallery. Wrong, yes. Floral blouse. She's truth. A swell of voices, a relentless chant. She reached the door, her steps faltering, one hand gripping the frame for balance. Gallery. She's out. Red scarf. She's done. A roar swelling, a rhythm pulsing through the room like a heartbeat. Outside the hall, reporters surged. Monroe ruling. Floral blouse. She's out. Their voices spilling through the cracked door as she stepped into the corridor. Gallery. Justice now. Mechanic, she's gone. A final swell chasing her, her exit slow, deliberate, a shadow fading into the dim light. Gallery. Aisha free. Red scarf. Truth lives. Red. Their cheers, echoing behind Monroe's breath hitched, her hands clutching the files tighter. They turned, they saw, reporters. Officers arrested! Floral blouse. She's shamed. Her silhouette shrank against the hall's gray walls, the courtroom's roar, a tide rolling strong, a victory resounding as she faded from sight. The New Orleans, Louisiana courthouse hall buzzed with a frenetic hum as bailiffs dragged Officers Daniels and Perry from the courtroom doors, slamming shut. Gallery. Justice now. Red scarf. She's won. A roar fading. Daniels, 38. Stocky sweat soaked his rumpled suit cuffs, tight wrists. This wrong, voice, horse. Perry 35, lean face, pale cuffs chafing, she's lying. Gallery echoes, liars, floral blouse, they're done. Air thick, reporters. Officers arrested, mechanic, they're toast. A tide rolling fast. Daniels stumbled, hall gray walls. Appeal this, I'm clean, breath ragged, bailiff 1. Move firm, Perry. We followed protocol, voice. Shrill, bailiff 2. Quiet, shoving Daniels. No mistake, you're caught, Perry. Caught no, she framed us, reporters. Frame no. Red scarf, she's CIA, cuffs. Clink, Daniels. Years served this. Perry. She's nobody. Gallery hum. Nobody know. Mechanic, she's justice. A swell, pressing loud. Holding cell steel door, clanged to Daniels. They'll clear us. Fists clenched, Perry. Badge means something. Pacing cell, concrete cold. She's lying, CIA. Ha, Daniels. Lying, yeah, drugs hers, Perry. We saw resisted voices, thin reporters. Dashcam truth, floral blouse. They're shamed. Cell bars rattled, Daniels. Years down, Perry. She's nobody. A hum, fading fast. Aisha's voice lingered. They framed me, gallery. Framed, yes. Red scarf, she's truth, their fate, a thread snapping loud. Thank you all for watching this video. Please comment and let me know what you think about this story. Please like and subscribe to watch more great content on my channel.